Welcome back, viewers. From the very beginning, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has carried an unspoken tension beneath its humor and heart. While the series presents itself as a domestic comedy about young love, family chaos, and growing up too fast, Season 3 is poised to strip away any remaining illusions about how stable Georgie and Mandy's relationship truly is. The cracks that were once played for laughs are now widening into fault lines, and the coming season looks set to explore the uncomfortable reality that their marriage may have been built on uneven ground from day one. Season 3 won't hinge on a single explosive betrayal or dramatic twist. Instead, it will likely unfold as a slow, painful reckoning, one shaped by mismatched dreams, unresolved lies, and a growing realization that love alone may not be enough to sustain a shared future. One of the most defining, and quietly damaging, aspects of Georgie and Mandy's relationship is the lie that brought them together. Georgie had time to tell Mandy the truth about his age, about still being a teenager, about not yet being fully formed as an adult. Instead, he waited. By the time the truth came out, Mandy was already pregnant, and the relationship had crossed a point of no return. Season 3 is expected to revisit this unresolved emotional wound, not as a dramatic accusation, but as a lingering ache that never fully healed. Mandy may not bring it up directly, but it lives in the background of every major disagreement, especially those involving the future. The lie didn't just affect their trust, it shaped the entire trajectory of their lives together. Had Mandy not been pregnant, there's a strong implication that the relationship would not have survived that betrayal. That truth hangs heavily over their marriage, and season May 3rd finally force both characters to confront what that means. The question isn't whether they love each other, they clearly do, but whether their marriage exists because they chose it freely, or because circumstances pushed them into it before they were ready. At the center of Season 3's looming conflict is the disagreement over having more children, a debate that threatens to expose just how incompatible Georgie and Mandy's visions of the future truly are. Georgie sees children as continuity, as legacy, as a way to anchor himself after losing his father and being forced into adulthood overnight. He wants his kids close in age, growing up together, sharing the bond he once had with his siblings. For him, expanding the family feels like moving forward, like building something solid and lasting. Mandy, however, is standing still, not out of fear, but out of self-awareness. Her hesitation isn't rooted in doubt about motherhood, but in her desire for agency. She wants time. She wants choice. She wants a future that isn't entirely defined by early responsibility and sacrifice. Season 3 is likely to frame this not as selfishness, but as survival. As the season progresses, this disagreement will likely stop being theoretical and start becoming painfully real. Casual conversations may turn into tense standoffs. Small moments, pregnancy scares, childcare stress, career opportunities, could reignite the argument again and again, each time with higher emotional stakes. What makes this conflict so dangerous is that there is no easy compromise. Someone has to wait. Someone has to give something up. And season May 3rd explore the growing realization that whichever path they choose, one of them will feel like they lost. Another major storyline expected to define Season 3 is Mandy's growing desire to leave her hometown. Her ambition isn't new, it's been simmering beneath the surface since the series began, but now it's becoming impossible to ignore. Mandy wants more than what their small town can offer. She wants professional fulfillment, independence, and the chance to redefine herself outside the roles of wife and mother. Season 3 is likely to introduce new opportunities, or at least the possibility of them, that force her to seriously consider leaving. For Georgie, the idea of moving feels like abandonment. His identity is deeply tied to his family, his community, and the responsibility he feels toward those he loves. Leaving isn't just inconvenient for him, it feels like betrayal. The show is expected to lean heavily into this contrast, presenting two equally valid desires that simply don't align. As these conversations escalate, season May 3rd depict how dreams that once felt hypothetical suddenly demand decisions. Mandy's desire for a career may no longer be something she can put on hold for now, while Georgie's refusal to leave may feel less like loyalty and more like control. One of the most emotionally resonant aspects of Season 3 is likely to be its insistence that Georgie and Mandy's marriage isn't failing because they don't love each other. In fact, the show may go out of its way to remind viewers how deeply they care, through quiet moments, shared history, and genuine affection. The tragedy, then, becomes one of timing. They met too early. They committed too fast. They made life-altering decisions before either of them truly knew who they were or what they wanted. Season 3 is expected to explore how that reality begins to sink in. What once felt romantic, building a life on instinct and emotion, now feels fragile. The season may depict how growing up doesn't always mean growing together, and how love doesn't automatically guarantee alignment. The influence of family will loom large in Season 3. Georgie's attachment to his roots isn't just personal, it's reinforced by expectations from those around him. His mother's values, his siblings' proximity, and the legacy of his father all subtly pressure him to stay, to build his life where he already is. Mandy, meanwhile, may feel increasingly isolated. Her ambitions may not be openly criticized, but they aren't fully supported either. Season 3 could highlight how unspoken expectations can be just as damaging as outright opposition, especially when one partner feels like they're constantly being asked to compromise. Don't forget to like, share, and comment for more recaps on Bullseye Movies.